Hey guys, it's Piper. Shell is jealous because her friends are dating and she's lonely, blah blah, that's all the context you need for this drawing. Happy Halloween! Speaking of Halloween, I used to work at Spirit Halloween a year ago, which is owned by Spencer's. I was going to withhold the name of the company, but really, my problem was with my boss, not the company. And I went rogue and got revenge on my own, Machiavelli style, so I'm satisfied, but I'm sure my subscribers won't be if they have to wonder what the name of this company is the whole time. So anyway, but I am withholding the names of my supervisors because I cannot be half-assed to remember irrelevant bitches. Just kidding, I remember all of it. I just don't want to be a super asshole. The retail flashbacks, oh man. P.S. If I ever get into the army and go to war, I'll let you know which is worse, war or retail. I'm on the fence right now because both sound horrible in different ways, but at least at war, it's only 4 years and you might die first, and you get free healthcare. What are the odds of somebody walking into Spirit Halloween saying, "Hey Piper, I'm here to grant you your sweet release. Your shift is over, bitch!" And then they empty a clip into me the end. So, war sounds like a better deal, even if I don't survive, which is why I'm going. Oh, and PPS to my supervisors, if you hoes rat me out, I'll rat you out, and it'll look way worse for you, because I'm a monster, and you're the ones who made me. Now, I'm kidding a little. Normally, I'm pretty friendly, albeit quiet, I swear, but sometimes I snap, and I go ham when I'm pushed too far, you know what I mean? So this whole thing started the summer after I graduated college. I applied to work at Spirit Halloween using autofill and a few copy-paste things. I left some of the fields, like references especially, blank, completely blank, because I felt obligated to apply to every job listing I could find, but I didn't actually want that job, you know? I just wanted to say I tried. Unfortunately, I live in an economically depressed area, and it's the only job that I got. So I settled with it. The woman who interviewed me, I'll call her Sally, she really liked me a lot. We chatted about a few unrelated things, and she ended up hiring me because she liked me so much. It turned out she was the regional manager, not my store manager, but the store manager liked me too, blah blah, everyone liked me, everything was happy in Piperland for like 2 minutes. Before our first day on the job, we had to do these at-home tasks called onboarding tasks. It was just filling out a bunch of forms. I got mine to 100% completion because college instilled me with a deep-rooted anxiety for things that are incomplete, but I still got a text from Sally accosting us saying none of us did it. I ignored it because it was obviously not true if I got 100%, but when I got there, it took everyone forever to fill it all in the system because apparently still a lot of people didn't do it, and we were there for at least an hour waiting for everyone to finish it, so I guess it couldn't be too far from the truth. Actually, for all I know, I was probably the only person who did it because I was waiting on everybody else. So then, at the end of it, Sally was all, "Has everyone finished their onboarding tasks?" And again, I did it all at home before getting there. It said 100%, so I just nodded and went on to work, which was, of course, unloading the truck. Since Spirit Halloween was seasonal, we had to put the store together from nothing, and it went worse than it should have. My first task was to hold the door open so everybody could push carts of shit inside, because the doors would automatically lock if they were closed. I was the only person there with a degree, and my job was to hold open the door. Not that you need a degree to unload the truck, don't get me wrong, it's just embarrassing, okay? I owe over $40,000 in student loans, interest increases with every payment I can't make, and the only job I could get in this town was to hold open a fucking door. Also, it was raining heavily, and I couldn't see out of my glasses. Eventually, one of my other supervisors noticed I wanted to kill myself and replaced me with a bucket of nails so I could help unload the truck and set up the shop, which was a pain in the ass because I was the only smart person there and nobody would listen to me, so we had to take it all apart and then put it together again. Big waste of time. Can I just say how hard it is to work for somebody dumber than you? And then I was part of the group that got sent home. Why? So I'm sure it was hell for them to figure out. I guess she sent me home because she could tell everyone was stomping on me and therefore I was useless. I don't know. Whatever, it spared me from the train wreck. I wasn't heartbroken over it, is what I'm trying to say. I let Sally know that I'd text her my availability for the next day since I have scoliosis and the heavy lifting was a little bit rough, so there was a chance I'd feel bad. She said it was okay, she knew about my disability, and then I left. It's just mild scoliosis, so it doesn't really affect a lot. It's just chronic pain at this point. Most people can't even tell I have it by looking at me. But then I came running back when I found my social security card and birth certificate in my bag, and then I remembered I never put that in the system. She was furious, but here's the thing, she never called for it. She just had all the irresponsible people put it in along with the onboarding tasks. So hello, her mistake, her responsibility? The only reason this happened to me and no one else is because I was the only one who was responsible and did my fucking job as I was told. She didn't yell at me, she just pursed her lips together and got all pissy and said she would have never put me on the truck if she had known I wasn't technically in the system as an employee. And I apologized like 80 times even though it wasn't my fault because I knew where I ranked as a retail mook. The next day, she ignored my text about my availability, so I texted her again within a few days, something like, I know my scoliosis and ADHD can be frustrating, but they won't interfere with my work, so please respond to me. You know, figuring I could deflect my blame off of her and onto my disability, so she would stop putting something that was her fault on me, So she texted me back saying, insert my legal name here, you will be scheduled when the store opens, blah blah, something about my disability, meaning I can't unload the truck, which was obviously bullshit, since she didn't have a problem with my disability back when she hired me, she just wanted to put me off. Also, yeah, Piper isn't my real name. Piper is just my pen name. I chose it before I came out of the closet. She called me by the legal feminine version of my name instead of the gender-neutral variant that I go by as a final fuck you. Rude. I say final because by the time it came for the store to open, she never called me or answered my texts or my phone calls. She ignored my phone calls too, and of course I wasted all those weeks thinking I had a job, so I wasn't searching for one. And she was totally ignoring me, and I had no intention to keep her promise of scheduling me. So when I realized that I wasted all that time and energy anxious and committed to this job I didn't actually have, I felt really hopeless, anxious, and honestly suicidal. I won't dwell on the topic. My first student loan payment was due and I couldn't pay the bill. I just wanted to die. And I saw it as the only way to get out of debt and this impoverished town. But then something clicked and I was suddenly like, why am I beating myself up over this shit? I didn't do shit. I was just thrown under the bus because Sally couldn't admit she was shitty at her job. She should be the one getting in trouble for this shit, if anyone. I just wanted to forget it and move on and work. At the time, anyway. But at that point, I didn't want to work there anymore. I just wanted to get back at her. And get the 30% discount on that mermaid flask I wanted from Spencer's, also. So it was time to get my job back. I saw an opportunity to strike. My paycheck never came in the mail, and she never gave it to me. I had no fucking clue where it was or how to get it, and it is illegal to hold somebody's paycheck for a month. So I waited for 1 month to officially pass, which was no big deal because it was 2 days away, and she was still ignoring me. And I dressed up all intimidating businesswoman-y, skin-tight leopard print dress, heels, blazer with shoulder pads, makeup to emphasize my already bitchy resting face instead of making me look approachable, like I usually do, and marched into the store with Charlize Theron's Murder Queen walk, and I said, "The store looks nice." P.S. It didn't. It looked cheap. And my act worked because the store manager and the assistant manager looked fucking terrified. Sally wasn't there, of course, since it was her store. I feigned ignorance, and the store manager will call her soccer mom because that was her attitude. She was, obsessed with her kids. Was like, "Are you here to pick up your paycheck?" And then I was like, "Nobody told me I had to pick up my paycheck. I've been waiting for it for over a month. I'm here to be scheduled." And then I showed her the text message Sally sent me over a month prior, I guess, I don't know, saying that I would be scheduled. So apparently, according to Soccer Mom, this is what happened. Sally just hired a ton of people to help set up the store, and then fired over 3/4 of them when the store opened, and she lied to Soccer Mom and told her I was one of those people. So I told Soccer Mom that I was going to corporate to report my paycheck being withheld for over a month, and for Sally firing me the pussy way, and I would let them know that it wasn't her fault and that it was all on Sally. That didn't make her any less scared though, so maybe she knew more than she let on, and she probably did let it slip, since, she could have called me at any time and told me my paycheck was at the store waiting for me all along. Okay, now I'm just getting mad. This was a year ago. Calm down, Piper. Then I cashed my paycheck, which, for all the hell and back pain I put into the half a day I got to work, was only $30. And then I bought some booze for a celebratory party of one because I was a train wreck and still am. Though I don't drink as much as I used to, obviously. I can't afford it. So then I moved on to phase 2 and called corporate to rat Sally out. But I couldn't just say, hey, I work there but not on paper and she's mad at me, so she ignored me. Because, that could have been blamed on me. I had to give some reason, something that would vilify Sally, something that she couldn't talk her way out of, something that her text message kind of insinuated at because of the way I worded it already. So I told them she fired me for my disability, which is illegal where I live, and how unfair it was that she fired me for a disability that has nothing to do with my job, and that she promised she would schedule me, and I was not seeking other employment because I wished to remain loyal to Spencer's, and that I was now fucked in the ass on my student loans because she fired me without telling me, which isn't illegal as far as I know, but it is really douchey. And to top it all off, nobody called me to tell me my paycheck was ready to pick up, leaving it to rot there over a month, also illegal. And I said that I was willing to forgive and forget, and I was still interested in employment from Spencer's or Spirit Halloween. I left out the part about her calling me by my legal name instead of my chosen one because I didn't want to make it a transgender issue because I wasn't out of the closet fully yet. And I usually presented as femme or tomboyish, so I was afraid Spencer's Corporation would not believe me. Anywho, 2 days later, I got a text message from Sally scheduling me to work the next shift. Hooray! Success! I could tell by reading it that she was pissed. When I got there, Soccer Mom, who was still terrified of me for some reason, by the way, was like, sorry they made your first day on a Friday when everyone and their grandmother was at the mall. I tried to talk them out of it, blah, blah, blah. And I obviously didn't care since this job was all about revenge at that point, and I did not care if I was a good employee or not. Which, by the way, I probably wasn't because I had 0 retail experience. I was going to use my employee discount to buy the flask, but I forgot. Retail is actually a pretty stressful job for those who haven't worked it. I mean, I knew it would be, but I wasn't prepared for people to do dumb shit like try on clothes in the middle of the aisle. We had a dressing room! I could ramble on and on about how shitty it was and how dumb my supervisors were. For example, hanging a skeleton boner costume at child height in the doorway of the store where everyone could see it. Every short little child could see it, really? But this video is getting long and there is yet more to tell. When I got to work the next day, Saturday, the assistant manager under Soccer Mom chewed me out because apparently some things were stolen that Friday. Sally conveniently came over and decided to do inventory in the middle of the day, a busy Friday, right after I left, and conveniently 3 small items were missing from their conveniently transparent packaging. She also complained that I left without letting her check my bag, which is apparently a store policy, but they didn't tell me about it. Also, she let me know the only reason I was still working there was because corporate wouldn't let them fire me. Duh. Of course they didn't let them fire me, and you know why they wouldn't let them fire me? I'm sure you do, because they could see through Sally's bullshit. You think this scares me, bitch? You just informed me that, in spite of your best efforts to frame me for theft, you still have no power. I mean, I acted scared because, you should never reveal the hustle as a hustle, no matter how well you thought you'd get away with it. And besides, I could tell she was reluctant and being used by Sally as a tool. So it was more fun to watch her feel guilty for helping frame me for theft than it would have been to piss her off. And I still had one last thing to take care of. So I worked for a few hours, got my employee discount code, and waited for my lunch break so I could buy that flask I wanted. Yes, it's so cute, drink like a mermaid, and I got it 30% off. I loved having an employee discount code. So, then I quit my job not even an hour later. See ya, suckers. You heard me right. I sold Sally out for a discount of not even $4 and a job I didn't even plan on keeping. I mean, I guess I could have stayed there just to spite her, but retail is boring, customers are assholes, and I already won, so there was no point in going on. And no, I don't feel remotely guilty about it, because I'm a total dick. And it gets better. Everyone thought the reason I quit was because Sally was threatening me, which she was, so I'm sure all that backfired on her. And you know what? If I had to do it all over again, I'd do everything exactly the same. It's not my fault. That's what you get for fucking with me, Sally. You should be nice to the quiet ones from now on. What do you think about that? Okay, guys, if you have a question for me that you want me to answer in an upcoming Q&A video, tweet it to me, the hashtag AskPiper. This channel does a lot of art and gaming content. Right now, I'm playing Stardew Valley as my original character, Jeremy Alexi, and YouTube is trying to convince me to cancel that series, but I refuse because I am my own man. And I also have plenty of interesting art chats prepared for you guys. I'm thinking about talking about the Oh, excuse me, hiccup. Another hiccup. Fuck! I'm thinking about talking about transgender being erased under the Trump administration, as some people have requested my opinion on this. So please subscribe, maybe hit notifications, and share it with your friends, and have a better day than Sally. See ya!